Today's topic is your obstacles are your path. The caveat that I want to mention here is if you're focused on your goal and you feel as if you've already achieved it, then your obstacles are your right path. If that's so, and if you're moving towards your goal and you experience obstacles, how do you feel? Do you experience feelings of doubt, worry, and anxiety? Or do you think that's wonderful? That's amazing. That's cool. And you feel happy and enthusiastic and at peace because you know that is the right path towards your goal. I know in the past, when I experienced obstacles, I thought, oh no, why is this happening? And why is this happening to me? I had a lot of anxiety, I had a lot of worry, and I had a lot of doubt. Now, after studying with my various mentors, Bob Proctor, Dan Matthews, Florence Shinn, Peggy McColl, Mary Morrissey, just to name a few, I know that obstacles mean that that's the right path for me. Or as Neville Goddard talks about, the shortest and the most effortless way. Florence Shinn talks about obstacles as your stepping stones to your goal. And when I changed my perception from looking at certain circumstances as obstacles to my path, instead of stepping stones, everything changed for me. As Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things, and the things that you look at change. And that is huge. And as Dan Matthews and Bruce Lee talk about, is be like water. Be like water. When water encounters a rock, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop and say, oh no. The water just flows around it because that is the shortest, most effortless way. So when I changed my perception to this is my path, I no longer looked at obstacles. I looked at them as stepping stones to my goal. I began to ask the question, how is this for me? What do I need to learn? Or who do I need to meet? I started to understand Steve Jobs' quote, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. Now, as I look back at many of the goals I have achieved, I would not have achieved these goals if I hadn't met that person, left that job, left that relationship, or started my company. At the time, things that I thought were bad or obstacles were the path to my goal. So many of my obstacles have allowed me to see things that I never saw before. I learned what type of clients that I wanted to work with. I learned patience. And some obstacles even took me down different paths of learning that I hadn't even considered. And those paths of learning were things that I loved and I so enjoyed and I excelled at. Now when I encounter an obstacle when moving towards my goal, I say to myself, this is my path. These are my stepping stones. I hold on like riding a roller coaster. I smile and I enjoy the ride. I know this is my path. So Bob Proctor had a wonderful exercise that he used when he encountered an obstacle. And I use that to this day. On a piece of paper, he described in detail the obstacle, and then he put the paper in the middle of his dining room table. Next, he would imagine each of his mentors or someone he admired sitting in each of the chairs around the dining room table. Then he would take the seat of one of his mentors, and he would look at the obstacle or what was written on the piece of paper from that person's perspective. And then he would move to the next chair and look at it from that person's perspective. And then he would continue moving from chair to chair. This exercise allows you to look at your obstacle from an objective point of view. You're no longer emotionally involved in the situation. It allows you to see the opportunities, the people, and the things that you need to see to achieve your goal. You begin to see how this is for you, and you embrace it. Your obstacles do not block your path. They are your path. They are your stepping stones to the shortest way to your goal. Embrace them. I encourage you to adopt this new perspective towards your obstacles. Just like riding a roller coaster, you can ride it with fear, worry, anxiety, holding on for dear life, or you can let go, be happy and enthusiastic, and enjoy the ride. Know that if you're focused on your goal, and if you feel like you've already achieved it, obstacles are your shortest way to your goal. They are your stepping stones. Try this perspective and see how your life changes. And share in the comments how this has changed your life. I'd love to hear.